Hey everyone, how is everyone doing on this Sunday night? Sunday, January 22nd, 2023. I really took it easy today. Uh, Speaking of which, I was just finishing up some work and I was with my wife earlier actually, obviously I love her. Oh, speaking of a lot of things, I did a cooking video which I uploaded to my YouTube channel. You can check it out. Uh, I'm not going to talk about that here. Um, but my wife helped me, because it's like a sort of like Indian Pakistani dish. But it turned out good. The dish turned out good. So check it out. All right. How is everyone doing on this Sunday? Fun day, the Sunday. I I'm doing this um, podcast as usual, depending on time and what I'm doing. I usually do it on Sunday or Monday. Well, last one I did on Wednesday. I think I apologize, but whatever, right? It is what it is. Um, what the hell I was going to talk about that I lost my chain of thought, right? Oh, so I was actually, I've talked about this many times before, right? What fascinates me really is how us humans, biological machine, right? We move our arms and we can like lift our arms and we can lift shit, right? Phone and this and that. And, people, guys who are into like wrestling and all that, they lift like heavy shit and like how does the human body, and I was actually talking to my wife earlier. It's so fascinating because this is the alien technology. Think about it. Without motors, without any like, uh, anything that actually can enable us to move our limbs, right? It's fascinating. And I was reading about that last night while I was watching. What the hell I was watching? Bad Bitch. Oh yeah, Bad Bitch. That's what I've been watching, by the way. Bad Batch is an animated series offshoot of Star Wars. I think it's in the time of, is it in the time of like after the third episode, right? Because they talk about Count Dooku, and obviously Count Dooku was in, when was he in Star Wars universe? Second episode or third episode? One of those, right? So I was reading up that shit, and it's just so fucking fascinating that how actually our brain, has these allocated areas, right? Allocated areas in our brain, allocated for each of our limbs and each of our, even our fingers have a dedicated region on the cortex, right? And the signal. I'm not an expert on this, but it just fascinated me how actually, our muscles actually do this, our muscles do this when the brain sends a signal through our spinal cord, you know, and then into our muscles through the motor neurons, right? But then how the hell the motor neurons? Why I understand motor neurons send this signal, which is basically electrochemical signal, right? So everything in our body is electrochemical. Remember, most of it. I mean, most of the signals, most of the like the nerves and the signals that are sent, you know, uh, that pass on from one neuron to the other, and their neurotransmitters and this and that. Is fucking fascinating shit. If you want to get into that, I think if I hadn't pursued engineering or maths, which is what I was good at, which is what I'm still good at, right? I think I would have pursued like something like neurobiology, neurology. Is that what this neurology is? That even like a field of medicine? I'm not sure if I've pursued I mean medicine, but maybe in another universe, I'm a neurologist or I'm a I don't know, scientist, whatever the hell it is, right? But that actually really fascinates me because I think this is really the alien technology, you know? Because if it wasn't the alien technology, when I say alien means, well, I mean, you could say that, oh, this is how the cells formed unicellular and they started moving in their own, like, size and where they were in the deepest ocean or whatever, right? Like amoeba and bacteria and all that, right? And then how we came about, not we came about, sir. How that like unicellular biology gave birth to us, right? The primal or the primates uh, that dominated the world, right? The planet, planet Earth. Well, okay, so does that mean that actually what happened on that day down in Mexico when all the dinosaurs, were extinct? Was that for a reason that that asteroid hit the planet, and then that most of the dinosaurs, because they were the ones who were roaming the planet, right? But they were just these huge animals. Or can we even call them animals, or were they reptiles? I don't know. I guess I had watched that Steven Spielberg movie. Jesus Christ. What is it? Is that the movie about dinosaurs? Yes. Yeah, no, I'm not into that. See, the problem for me, and this is actually, oh, right. Okay, this is what I wanted to say. Well, among many other things I want to say on this podcast, you see, my chain of thought actually goes from one topic to the other, right? Which in some ways is not very efficient, especially when I talk about these topics. But then in other ways, I'm basically like just what do you call kindling one flame from the other, right? So, well, I mean, do you want to put out the other flame before you kindle the next one, sir? All right, okay, so let's put out the other flame, right? First one, or whatever. So neurons, right? And that's fascinating how we actually, as humans, actually, and animals, how we move without any motor functions. Well, I mean, those are called the motor functions, right? This is the fascinating thing that I have actually. I don't know, for some fucking reason. And I feel like, okay, so how did this technology actually uh become uh, so naturally prevalent on this earth? I guess not, I guess, but obviously for some obvious reasons, is that earth uh, you know became the habitat for, I guess, life. It's actually the other way around. See, it's actually the other way around, which is life actually created Earth, not created, but made Earth as its habitat. You know, First thing would be for like the theory and universal organization, organisms, not organizations, or organisms, to protect themselves from all the whatever chemicals at that time, toxic, whatever waste, right? At that time, that was generated, that got created in the beginning of the formation of Earth, right? And then eventually, here we are, right? So, am I actually trying to make some sort of a connection to the causal effect of, you know, what happened during or in the aftermath of that asteroid, impact on Earth 66 million years ago, right? Does that mean that these dinosaurs were just fucking these stupid fucking huge reptilian, whatever the fuck they were, right? And so that means that they were just dumb to just roam on Earth, as this huge fucking like animals or creatures, right? Creatures, and and they were really not going to like rise to anything intelligent. Whatever it was, because they were basically just devastating everything, and they were like, "Ah, you know what? We just gonna roam on this planet. We don't fucking care if it's something else is gonna rise." Yeah. So does that mean that it's an alien, whatever the fuck it was, a natural whatever disaster? In terms of that asteroid hit happened on this fucking planet 66 million years ago, that actually wiped all the dinosaurs out. So it could give rise to like us, like feeble creatures, in terms of like first us coming out of the African jungles is like these monkeys, right? Or these bonobos, whatever you call them. Don't quote me on this one because I don't want to be fucking kicked out of fucking YouTube just because I said something that's really not, as per the guidelines of what, you know? But where the hell I was going with this? Okay, but I mean, that's fascinating, right? It's fascinating that, okay, so yeah, so the dinosaurs, not those dinosaurs, whatever SARS they were, right? And we still have those fossils, right? And then we have the movies, Spielberg's movies, right? What the fuck are those called? I never got into them. Um, those huge, creatures also had obviously means to move around with their huge limbs, and because they had big muscles and they had the same fucking flesh. I'm assuming same fucking blood. Not like some fucking, blue blood in your fucking veins, right, Ronnie? Or they had some sort of other fucking, you know, kind of like hearts, or maybe they didn't even have hearts. No, I think they had hearts and all that, right? I think that's proven, right? But in any case, so um, just to continue my topic, I think. Oh yes, okay. So this is where I was going to get into, right? So the reason why I am not into like, okay, I understand, something like a movie like Jazz, right? Jazz was, I think, Steven Spielberg, which I just realized that I was listening to, these famous actors like Jason Bateman and Sean, whatever. These guys have a podcast on what the fuck it is, right? It's on Spotify, right? They have a podcast called fucking what is it called? Oh, Smartless podcast, right? So there's Steven Spielberg on, And so he was talking about his movies and all that. Jazz. So Jazz is Steven Spielberg, right? Just to make sure that I don't fuck it up as far as something like Jazz, because I have seen Jazz back in the days. Um, Jazz movie. Uh, Jazz movie. Oh my fucking god! Am I spelling this? Okay, so Jazz. Sorry, not jazz. Jazz. So Jazz movie, right? Movie. Obviously it's about the sharks, right? So Jazz 2, Jazz 3, right? Amazing fucking movie. And oh shit, it's like the 74, 75, right? Yes, Spielberg. Okay, so I've seen those movies. I think back in the late like 80s, right? When they came out, when they were coming on TV in the fucking mountains, right? Free, you know. And then obviously, we had a VCR and all that, right? But but what's the thing that I'm actually kind of like not into is Spielberg's these other movies about dinosaurs, is that I feel like somehow dinosaurs or whatever, right? We discovered. I mean, I don't know the whole fucking. I don't remember because I didn't follow any of those movies, right? Because I feel like whatever the fuck we are doing, right? So, what the fuck we are doing with these animals that we cage, right? We cage these animals into these fucking zoos just for the entertainment of us fucking human beings. Just imagine 200 years down the road, right? 200 years down the fucking road in future, right? Somehow the coin not such, flips, right? Somehow a switch is, flips are flipped, and and somehow these animals take over us. Are they going to put us into fucking cages and then show the like, oh, these like fucking, these like lions and these fucking, leopards are walking around with their kids and showing their kids, hey, look at these human beings, in their cages and, I know. So do you think they will like a fucking make a zoo out of fucking human beings? I don't think so. But, well, I don't know. But, well, first of all, they won't be able to do that because they're not their hypothalamus, right? Or whatever their brains are, they're not as advanced as ours, right? But does that actually make us any better? Well, that makes us more intelligent, and that's how we have ruled this fucking planet, right? As opposed to other animals. Now, now, I think, I think that us human beings caging these fucking wildlife animals for our own entertainment as zoos is, I think, wrong. I think that's fucking wrong. I mean, I'm not trying to be like a fucking, you know, fucking Greenpeace activist, right? Because Greenpeace now is so fucking politicized, and Greenpeace was uh, an organization, right? That were for Greenpeace. What the fuck is the Greenpeace peace in? So I mean, Greenpeace sounds like green technology or use fucking green weapons. Is that what it is? Greenpeace or don't even fucking use like any weapons? Is that what it is? I think Greenpeace's whole ideology was that, oh, we got to save the planet and this and that, including the animals and all that. But you think that Greenpeace would do something like actually like do something like in terms of the animal rights, right? I'm talking about animal rights. When I talk about animal rights, I'm talking about animal rights in terms of uh, the wildlife animals we have, right? In these fucking zoos. Again, without repeating myself, I think this is morally, ethically wrong for us, for our entertainment, to have these fucking zoos, capture these animals away from their habitats, especially like these zoos in these inner cities and all that, right? I mean, I'm not talking about Rocky National Mountain, right? Rocky Mountain National Park, because that's just a natural habitat, right? For all these animals, including whatever snow leopards and all that, right? Mountain lions. I mean, where I come from, we have ibex, right, which is the mountain goat, which is on my arm is a tattoo, right? And then we have also snow leopards, and a bunch of other animals, right? I'm talking about those. Okay, I'm talking about if you, for example, if you bring like a one snow leopard, one mountain lion, bring like a bunch of like these mountain goats and another a bear and cage them for the entertainment of our human kids. That's, I think, morally fucking wrong. Okay? I think that's morally fucking wrong because they are not like robots or whatever. They have feelings. I mean, animals have feelings, and especially you cage them in these fucking like, for the entertainment of these humanoid kids and even for like adult humans. This is exactly why I don't go to fucking zoos. You know why? Because I think that's morally fucking wrong. I mean, I'm not trying to be what do you call what is it called? Puritanist. I'm not trying to be like that, but I think if you look at this with a clear line of sight, with a clear lens, with a clear, not binoculars, but with a clear, lenses through your eyes, you can see that, what we're doing actually is wrong. And especially in the fucking Western world and even whatever it is, right? I understand, it generates, income and it generates like jobs and all that, but I think it's still wrong. I'm not talking about like domesticated animals. We have domesticated animals for fucking thousands of years. All right? Including for our own needs, be that fucking milk or, whatever, cheese or meat or wool or, leather or whatever it is, right? I'm not going to get into that fucking discussion because I don't believe in like people telling me that, oh, I'm a vegetarian because I think it's cruel to animal. That's a whole fucking discussion. Okay, well, I mean, you still fucking wear like leather shoes, right? That comes from an animal's leather, all right? So, but that's a whole different discussion. What I'm saying is, I'm not talking about domesticated animals, all right? I'm not even talking about like, like dogs or, kids as like pets, right? Oh, some people have, oh, fucking God. Some people have like fucking like lizards as pets. I mean, I think my ex, she had one for a little bit of time. I'm like, well, are you fucking crazy? In any case, and some people have like fucking, what do they have for pets? Um, what are these other fucking animals, dude? Uh, Squirrels? No fucking idea. But in any case, yeah, some people are so fucking crazy that they will try to not domesticate, but use like these fucking what do you call snakes is the fucking the pets. Well, that's fucking crazy. I mean, those are people who are out of their fucking mind. All right. I'm not talking about them. Even then, I think There are certain animals you can have as pets. Prime example, obviously, is yeah, you can have a dog. Dogs are the best companions. Dogs are the best pets, right? And kids. I used to have kids. Although kids can be a fucking pain in my ass, right? Uh, but you know, anyways, I don't want to get into the whole discussion of what happened to my kid. But well, yeah, I still feel that at some point in time in my past, I basically just made a mistake of like I was getting engaged to a lady, and she said, we can't have a kid and blah blah blah, and all this whole fucking discussion, right? Anyways, I don't want to get into that. All right, so whatever, right? Uh, I think if we are to do some sort of justice to these animals, I understand, we have the we have these organizations, nonprofit, whatever, and I was actually telling my wife that, hey, maybe I should get a dog, because I think dogs are nice. Because, like, in my old building on Lennox, right? Lennox building, everyone except me had a fucking dog, right? And that whole fucking area, you know, is one of the most fucking expensive places to rent. And that's where my office is, right? I mean, I moved out here because I bought this condo. But uh, yeah, should I get a dog? No, I mean, I can't get a dog because I have to actually get my wife out here. That's the most important because I just feel like, I feel like this fucking, what do you call? I feel like this um, person who is away from his significant other, and I think my wife feels that way, and it's just like it's fucking. I mean, it's not. It's not the best deal for us. It's not the best deal for us that we were together for like fucking, what do you call, 16 days, and then we are not, and but hopefully we will be. I mean, I'm flying, on the second, and we'll be together soon. And we are basically getting closer, and I want to keep this strong, and I think she does too. And in any case, what the fuck I was talking about, and I just digressed from one topic to the other. I'm sorry, I apologize. Okay, so I was talking about this animal rights and what we talk about, these fucking animal activists and all these people, right? We talk about like animal rights and all that. Oh, how about have you actually really thought about like why we have these fucking zoos for the entertainment of our kids? Huh? Yeah, that's immoral. And that's actually, especially for like fucking wildlife animals. Oh, I'll go to fucking Africa and catch a fucking, one of those big lions from the, what do you call the, sub-Saharan, whatever, right? Plants. And then, oh yeah, and then grab one of those fucking like, what do you call, bears from upstate New York, right? Put them in a fucking cage and let them, display the whatever to these fucking kids, right? But in any case, so all right, so I don't want to like go on and on about this topic, but I think this was in my fucking mind. I wanted to talk about this. So, what else is going on? How is everyone doing? I was actually looking forward to like the fucking new episodes of the two shows I've been watching, right? I mean, besides the Bad Batch, right? Bad Batch is one of the best animated series of of Star Wars, and And if you are into like Star Wars, if you ever been into Star Wars, yeah, that's a good one for you to watch. If you are into any, I mean, Bad Batch is, yeah, always for kids. No, it's not for kids. I mean, is Star Wars for kids? Well, listen, I'm Generation fucking X, okay? So, yeah, I get it. I watched Star Wars late in the fucking game because I didn't have the opportunity to watch that when it came out in fucking cinema because 1977. What the fuck I was in 1977? Up in the mountain, 4 years old. I was 4 fucking years old. Dude, we didn't have any like, even like clean drinking water. You're talking about like, oh, watching fucking Star Wars? Oh, we didn't have any fucking like, forget electricity. I think we had electricity at that point, but it was like, oh, we'll see the electricity, yeah, right? Like once in fucking 3 days. Is that what it was? You get my point, right? So that's a good one. But I'm talking about the shows actually I've been watching, the new ones. One is Tulsa King. Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone, right? That's a fucking funny, you know, kind of like a mafioso kind of a movie. Not a movie, sir. It's a series, right? It's a fucking uh, TV show, right? It's a fucking TV show, and you can watch it on Amazon. But it's a funny one because Tulsa, remember, is in fucking Oklahoma, Oklahoma, right? Oklahoma. I've never been there, but in any case, so no spoiler alerts, but watch it. It's fucking funny as fuck. All right. And the other one, 1923, which is basically not the prequel. It's kind of like offshoot to Yellowstone, right? And that's a fucking great show as well. 1923 up in the fucking mountains. Pristine mountains of Montana. Montana, pristine fucking mountain. All right. So, yeah, it looks like they didn't air the episodes after January 7th. So I don't know what the fuck is going on. I think the episodes are airing in February. Is that what it is? Maybe. All right. So I've been watching those, and yeah, those are great shows actually. If you are into like like Yellowstone, and I mean Yellowstone is contemporary. Is that what it is? Yellowstone is contemporary. With fucking Kevin Costner. And 1923 is obviously 1923, right? The same family with Harrison Ford, right? And I think they made it more realistic of what the West used to be like back in the days, right? I'm not sure. I mean, I go to fucking Colorado, right? I used to go to fucking Colorado, but okay. So I think maybe okay. I mean, without actually, um, ranting or talking too much about what do you call these shows. Remember the other show? What is it called? Um, oh yeah, Westworld. Remember Westworld? Westworld is a fucking great show. So when is there going to have another like fucking season? Westworld with what's her name? New season. Westworld. HBO's canceled Westworld. HBO said over the past 4 seasons, Lisa and Jonah have taken viewers on a mind-bending odyssey. What the fuck has it been canceled? Westworld season 5, right? Game over. Okay, so Westworld canceled at HBO after 4 seasons. Okay, so looks like this is Entertainment fucking Weekly. I mean, I don't go to these fucking websites to read about fucking. whatever it is, right? But looks like the robot revolution will no longer be televised. HBO has officially pulled the plug on Westworld following the Emmy-winning sci-fi drama's fourth season finale, which aired August 14th. Oh my fucking god! So why the fuck did they cancel the show, dude? It was fucking amazing, you know. It was fucking mind bending because if any of you haven't seen Westworld, and that's one of the best sci-fi movies ever. All right. And well, shows, sir. Not a movie, shows. Speaking of which, I mean, am I gonna turn my fucking podcast into shows with like fucking like sci-fi and all that, right? Uh, Speaking of sci-fi, I mean, I talked about my creative, not creative, but conceptual design for a spaceship, right? Which I actually kind of like came up with some sort of like artistic, it's more like artistic. And I remember I showed you guys this print that I had from my office. I printed it, right? And I actually want to like do an artistic, like a kind of a plan view of what this kind of a sectional plan view of this ship that I'm kind of like artistically like designing, right? And so I bought these markers, right? These color markers, like 50 of them, I think, 50 of them from Michael's art store down in Bayonne, that strip mall. But I haven't done anything, dude. I haven't fucking done anything. So, I mean, yeah, you could say, oh, I'm lazy. Yeah, partly I'm lazy, but then also, I mean, I feel like, what is that going to do? I mean, is that really what I want to do? I don't know. For me to, I guess, spend my time creatively, maybe there's something creative. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's something well, I mean, are you gonna fucking like, be so pessimistic about about this, sir? Because you were so excited last time, to do this, and you went there to the art store and picked up these fucking markers. You're not gonna do anything. Well, I mean, I didn't do anything this fucking weekend. Sorry, because okay, so I might. Oh, well, okay. I had a lunch with my ex-colleague this weekend. I mean Saturday, right? Saturday I had a lunch with my ex-colleagues, and it was great. We went to this Colombian place up in excuse me, Rockland County, and then we also met up with one of the colleagues that was working for the same company, obviously. At the same time that I was working for the company, that was my first company in the United States, right? After my graduate studies, right? Up in Westchester. And it was good. It was good to, have some good food, Colombian food, it's nice. You get some like, those skirt steaks and rice and beans and guacamole and just like, oh my God, it's nice, right? And, uh, And so, yeah, that's what I did. I drove up there. It was like an hour long drive, and we were there for like, we were there for like 3 hours, dude. Holy shit. Um, but I mean, then I came back, and then, and I came back and I felt lazy. I didn't, I had one beer. And then I drank a cup of coffee after dinner. right? Dinner's after, it's dinner, sir. And obviously, my wife is with me all the time, which is good because we're getting closer. And I mean, what are you trying to say, sir? Of course, I mean, she's my wife, and and we are also, we are like buddies. I think that's what it is. That's the best thing. We talk about a lot of things. But in any case, um, and that's what the relationships are for, right? I mean, I don't know, we'll be, fighting and all that. No, that's fine. That's part of life, right? Um, but compromise, you got to compromise and you got to look at the better things and you got to look at the stronger, foundation of things in your life. And so I was up there, and it was great to see them, how life fucking like moves on, it doesn't fucking wait for you. Am I going to turn into fucking philosophically like sounding like fucking melancholic, colic, uh, person who feels he's like uh, getting sort of like, you know, I mean, I don't want to use the word old, but maybe, I mean, everybody gets fucking old. But what I'm saying is that life doesn't really like, that life really doesn't fucking wait for us. That's what it is. What is that fucking song? Is that by Kansas? Nothing lasts forever but the earth and sky. Right? That's what it is. We, us human beings, us human beings and all these other animals, and, I mean, us human beings, we have some lifespan, right? We have some shelf life. Our bodies have some shelf life, right? But then that's it. We are gone. Gone are the days, right? But, you know, you gotta make the most out of this fucking life, man. So the question then becomes, have you actually made most out of what you wanted to make most out of your fucking life, right? And obviously, I haven't. I mean, I was talking to my ex-colleagues and, yeah, we talk about like, all these things happening in the fucking world and this and that and blah blah blah, right? I mean, we didn't talk about politics, so that was great, right? Um, I mean, contemporary topics of what's happening in the fucking world, and we have this fucking war and going on, and obviously, I mean, Russia has this fucking like leverage. But doesn't mean that war is. Who said that? Oh, there are some fucking great lines. You know why I like this show, 1923. There are some fucking great lines in those. I mean, in that show, there's some fucking great like dialogues and monologues in that show, which are fucking amazing, great. And I kind of relate to them. I mean, not that I went to fucking war or I'm a veteran or I'm a soldier or any of that, right? I'm not, but I mean, you have to live your life as some sort of a soldier, in many ways. You have to. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, maybe I flunked my discipline or whatever the fuck it was, right? Or maybe I just said, fuck it, who cares? I mean, especially after pandemic or through pandemic, I'm like, fuck this, who fucking cares, that kind of attitude. But then, you have to say to yourself, okay, well, I mean, I mean, what's your role in this fucking world? In your own fucking world, right? What you want to do, and I mean, and why is it that Why is that you feel, most of us feel that we have actually like not live our lives to the fullest that we should have, right? Especially for us guys, I think this that actually really bothers us. I'm not saying that all you, women folk, females out there, it doesn't bother you. What I'm saying uh, is that this is kind of a universal regret that we always feel. I'm not talking about, oh, why I'm not a fucking millionaire. Oh, maybe I am talking about why I'm not a fucking millionaire by this time, right? Um, what's the next big tech? Sir, what's the next big startup? Solar panels. I think I want to get into that. Besides what I'm doing right now for my company, and then I think the big picture, if you look at the fucking big picture, I mean, big picture in a small lens, right? You have to look at the fucking big picture with a small lens. And that lens has to be your own fucking life. And then the big picture is like the fucking planet, right? So what the fuck am I trying to say? Okay, so this is what I'm trying to say. Now that I fucking watched those shows right now, am I gonna act like a fucking actor? From one of those shows. What I'm saying is that if uh, if you want to see this world, then you have to see this world through your own lenses, not through others, not through some other media, social media. Yeah, you can get opinions from your friends, and those are good. You should actually welcome them, but you should look at where you want to be in your life regardless of how old you are, what you are, where you are in your life. All right. Yeah. Okay. So listen, if you ask me what the fuck I want to be, I want to be where I could just like use my creative skills, right? Creative skills and also my own engineering skills to actually educate, these young engineers who are coming out of these engineering schools, which I'm already doing. Obviously I have interns, but they work for me, but they have obligations. I have obligations and etc. Well, that's the whole work stuff, right? But then I would basically guide these people. I think uh, so they could actually also live their lives. You know, being outside the fucking box. Because the problem with young people, am I going to turn my podcast at the end of this, like fucking, you know what? Okay, so I'm going to just summarize this. I mean, forget the youngsters and these people who are coming out of these schools, graduating and all that. Yeah, they'll have to live their lives. They'll have to live their lives the way their destiny will take them, right? Not the way, but the path, right? But somehow, you can actually also change your destiny if you know a few things ahead of time. What's going to happen, let's say, when you're 30, 35, 40, right? In terms of what you should be expecting, right? At least you can somehow, navigate the compass or have some sort of compass in your life. Have some sort of compass in your life. That's very important. Have some sort of a fucking compass in your life, milestones. This is what I want to do. You want to make money, be my guest, but don't fuck people, for making money. Don't be fucking like, a maniac, you know, and just say, oh, I want to make money and I'll give a fuck about, anything else and moral and ethics and this and that, right? And don't lose your fucking basic compass. That's the compass which we all live, okay? You're the Jedi for the Force runs through all of us. Am I going to sound like fucking dead? Or is it the lady from the fucking cantina, man? No. Uh, but what I'm trying to say is that I think for us, Uh, especially for me, I think at this point in time, yeah, I feel lucky and I feel, I should be more humble about this, right? At the same time, I'm still fucking angry at a lot of things, But forgiveness, I think I talked about this. Forgiveness is very important for you, forgiving us our own selves and others, and let them forgive us, and blah blah blah, right? So that's very important. That's very important. Communication. Communication is very important. Don't be like a fucking passive aggressive or aggressive. Be communicating. Be more communicative. Be more active. Uh, you know, in whatever the fuck you want to say, do in your life, and then follow through. Follow through. When I say follow through, means you know you should you should pursue your fucking dreams. And I understand, like, if I could, I would be the fucking next. I can't be the next Elon Musk because he's my age. By the time Elon Musk sold PayPal, right? I was just working for a nonprofit, dude. I was working for a nonprofit up in the fucking mountain, building these, water and sanitation projects for these communities. I mean, forget PayPal and all that. I mean, I'm talking about like fucking basic, dude. Fucking basic, correct? Basic like water. And I'm not even talking about electricity. Forget the fucking computers. I didn't have a computer at that time. I'm talking about 90s. But in any case, I'm not trying to like portray myself as, this, we didn't have anything, but we didn't have anything. That's what it is. For us, where I come from those fucking mountains, if you go there and look at these fucking like rugged mountains and how we carved them and all that, yeah, that's a tough fucking land. It's tough motherfucking land, right? But we did that and we grew up there and it's also beautiful up there. It's like mesmerizing, high mountains, high like altitudes and all that, right? And I love being up there. I love being up there. And, I love to be back with my family finally after 21 years, right? And so I think, I don't want to talk about like fucking, the future and the future of humanity and all that. I mean, listen, if you want to see the future of humanity through the lens of the, through the lens of the, what do you call technology and all that, right? Yeah, you can already see that through movies, right? Sort of realistic sci-fi movies that tell you, what the planet or what the human civilization may uh, become, or where the computers are going to take us. I'm not talking about like Tyrell Corporation, right? Tyrell Corporation from the fucking like Blade Runner, right? Or what's the other one with Schwarzenegger movies, right? Total Recall, not Total Recall, sorry, Terminator, right? Terminator. What's that company that makes them, right? Whatever the fuck it is, right? The software, whatever the fuck it is, right? I'm not talking about that, but and also like Westworld kind of like predicts that, and that if we come up with this technology of like humanoid robots. And that's exactly what I was alluding to when I was talking about how we can actually move our limbs and blah, blah, blah without any motors or anything in our fucking bodies, right? So our muscles do that and then, whatever. But we can't replicate this technology. We can replicate ourselves into clones, but that has to basically make another, let's say, Naeem or another whatever, right? XYZ, Josh, Mo, or Jane Doe, or whatever, right? Through their DNA and all that. But that has to be through a tube, and, it has to go through that same process that we all have gone through when we were born, from being a, being just what do you call fetus. Now, I'm not even talking about that fetus. I'm before that, right? But other than that, if you want to create a human being, a humanoid robot in a factory, be my guest. You cannot replicate this technology because this is the fucking alien technology. All right. Well, I'm not talking about like, oh, some aliens actually, created this or they initiated this. Maybe they did. Who the fuck knows, right? The only thing maybe the aliens did was, here you go. We're going to just start this process of like fusion or fission, right? In a millisecond. And then everything else is going to evolve at its own. Who the fuck knows? Because yeah, I mean, science says this and that, right? But then who the fuck knows? Really, to be honest with you, I mean, people talk about like Big Bang and all that, but yeah, well, okay, yeah, well, Big Bang, but what the fuck? What? Okay, what was before Big Bang? I'm not even going to go into that fucking realm of like fucking discussion, philosophical, whatever the fuck it is, right? But that's like the fucking like abyss of like, oh, okay, what was before Big Bang? Oh, there's something before Big Bang. Oh, and then what was before that? Oh, there was some other entity. Oh my God. I don't want to fucking go there because that's the fucking abyss. All right. So the question, no, not question, sir. What is that you want to do in your life? What I want to do in my life? I think that's more important right now because that's the focus, I think has to be, right? I mean, yeah, I mean, forget the fucking past. I think I beat that topic to fucking death, right? In the last podcast, I was not like thinking too much, dwelling into the fucking past and just moving on, right? Move on, soldier. Move on, soldier. Um, what else? Because I'm already at like 56 minutes. I think I want to actually watch. What the fuck am I going to watch after this, sir? After I upload my podcast and do this and that, right? Um, I don't know. I don't know. I'll probably look at like new movies. What are the fucking new movies, sir? What are the new sci-fi movies coming up? I heard that actually, what's the name? Adam Driver has a new movie. New upcoming sci-fi. It's fucking Tom Cruise going to have one of his Mission Impossible movies soon. Huh? Now that we are in February, well, January, so not February yet. A new sci-fi movies, sci-fi and action movies. I'm sorry. Action movies. Maybe I actually turned my fucking podcast into sort of like fucking, um, a discussion about the movies and all that. New sci-fi, new upcoming. I should say new upcoming, right? Five upcoming. Okay, Rebel Moon. What the fuck's that? Rebel Moon. The Wandering Earth. Transformers, The Rise of the Beast. Well, Transformers. Now that's a interesting genre of like fucking sci-fi, right? Who's in there? Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf has like a lot of fucking problems with, I think. Who's trying to defend him on Joe Rogan podcast? What's his name? Jonathan. What the fuck his name? Right? All right. Upcoming sci-fi movie 2023. Jesus. Um. So Rebel Moon. I have no idea what the fuck Rebel Moon is. The Wandering Earth. Wandering Earth 2, January 22nd. I'm Wandering Earth 2, which today actually. Transformers 65, March 17th. Dune Part 2, November 13th. Oh, Dune. Oh my god, I didn't like that fucking movie Dune, right? I do not at all, really, to be honest with you. It's just a fucking, something in the desert, and it's like maybe I will. I have no idea. I mean, it's just too fucking like, I mean, too kind of simple. I think that's what it is. And the technology and all that, it's just like fucking. Oh my god. In any case, not a big fan of fucking Dune or any of those movies, right? Yeah, maybe I'm fucking old school. That's what I am in many ways, right? All right. So I think I will. Well, I think you will, sir. You'll talk to your podcast listeners and watchers and wandering people who come across your podcast in the next one. But is there anything else I wanted to say that I wanted to get the fuck out of my chest in terms of like new and upcoming things in terms of like fucking exciting like tech and all that. I'm not no not fucking tech, dude. I'm talking about I guess well nothing exciting to be honest with you. I mean really nothing. It's all like everything is just convoluted in this fucking world on this fucking planet, and nothing is really like exciting to say, oh, finally we're ready to fucking, go and, fly to fucking Mars and we're gonna land a fucking cargo ship there, right? And we're gonna start having a base on the fucking moon and, I don't hear any of that. It's all fucking like this fucking like chicken. It's like a fucking chicken coop in Washington and all this and all that, right? Everywhere. That's what it is. Fucking politicians, dude. That's what they do, right? All right. Well, I did not want to talk about politics. I don't want to talk about fucking politics. And so let's keep it at that. And I presume and I assume you all had a great weekend. Still having it. You guys out there. Oh, okay. So Cowboys game, right? Fucking Giants. I mean, I'm not into fucking like football. All right. I'm not into American football. I mean, if you ask my opinion about American football, it's like a fucking war. It's like a fucking battle, right? As opposed to fucking soccer, right? Like football, right? American football is if one team goes forward, right? It's like if you are going to fucking like battle, right? I'm talking about like one-on-one battle, like back in the fucking days. Is that what this fucking American football is based off? I think that's what it is, right? Sort of, right? You go in there and then you have to push forward, no matter what. So a team which basically fucking moves forward, right? It's not like it's not like you have a ball, right? And I think I joke about this all the time. Oh, American football is for most part played with fucking hands. Why is it called a fucking football? Shouldn't it be called a fucking American handball? Hmm? Not football, huh? I don't know. I mean, but it's basically you have a team actually who become dominant at some point in the whatever 10 minutes in the fucking game, right? Your fucking Eagles or Giants. Giants, by the way, they didn't fucking do anything. Giants were the fucking worst game. I kind of watched it, Saturday night, and I also was kind of watching Cowboys game because my friend, he's a Cowboys fan, right? I don't have any fucking, I don't choose really like teams, because again, I'm not into American football, but I mean, I'm into soccer, and sometimes I watch Premier League, and Manchester City is my team, right? Sort of. But in any case, so I think my take on American football is that it's a game which is played like if you are playing or if you are basically trying to win a battle, right? One-on-one battle. I'm not talking like battle, with like fucking plans of tanks. I'm talking about like one-on-one battle with these humans, right? And so once you push through, Once you play through, you go from like what, like 20th to 30 yards, the 40 yards, right? 50 yards. And then what they do is that, oh, yeah, you have to stay there, because you have achieved the 40th yard. So that's your fucking privilege to be there, You had to start from there. So that team already has an advantage, right? So I think there's some fucking, I don't fucking idea. I'm not into, I never looked into this. Was never, except for Super Bowl. I mean, I have the fucking idea that that's the whole concept, right? And then they have these fucking rules and all that, right? But in any case, all right. So without bashing the American football, uh, I'm going to close up my podcast, everyone. You all have a great weekend, whatever your team is, you know, Cowboys or 49ers. I think they're the ones who won. And Eagles are the ones who won yesterday against, which we call the New York Giants. New York Giants, I mean, New York Giants, I heard they were like not really good. And they proved that yesterday. With that said, I'll see you all next Sunday or Monday.